Okay, magandang araw sa inyo lahat. Ito si Kristan at meron na naman tayong magandang crypto conversation. At dito sa usapan natin ngayon, I've got a real OG in the crypto space. And you guys are gonna love the conversation we're gonna have today. Welcome, my guest, Luis Buenaventura. What's up, Luis?
Hey guys, hey Chris. Thank you for inviting me. This is exciting, man.
Yeah.
I love your setup. This is a great studio.
I'm really excited to have you here because when I started doing these podcasts may mga kwentuhan kami, you know, you were one of the ones that people were asking me na, please guest Luis. Sabi ko, sige na nga, I'm gonna guest you na nga because, my God, you're in such high demand. But before we get started, for the ones na hindi ka pa kilala, I'm just wondering, and I myself want to know, when did you first discover Bitcoin? What year was it? And what was it that made you, like, that light bulb moment for you with Bitcoin?
Yeah. So this is one of my favorite stories, no? So I've been trying to build tech companies here in the Philippines since I was in my 20s. I'm not gonna say na exactly how long ago that was, no? Let's just say medyo matagal na. And a lot of the problems you have when you are trying to build a company here in the Philippines is, how do you get people to pay for your services? Especially, isipin mo yung 2010, 2011, wala pa masyadong credit cards na ginagamit. Hindi pa uso yung credit cards. Actually, to be honest, hindi pa nga uso yung GCash back then.
Wala pang GCash.
So how do you pay for something that you want to buy online? So that was kind of the original problem that I was thinking of noon. I wanted to get into e-commerce, yung mga tipong Lazada or Shopee, and I couldn't find a really good solution for it. And around 2014, I discovered Bitcoin, this interesting electronic money, etc., etc. Walang censorship. Anyone can use it, all of that stuff. So it looked like it had potential, no? So I started getting into it a lot. And over the next several years, I was trying to find ways to make it useful for Filipinos. So either as an online payment, either as a remittance, a way to send remittances for our OFWs. Lahat ng mga ganun na uses, in-explore namin eh. And I think that the one that we eventually, we tried all, but the one that we really liked was the idea na yung pag sinesave mo yung pera mo in Bitcoin, over time, lumalaki siya. Lumalaki yung value niya.
Right.
So it really rewards you for saving, which I think is very powerful eh. Kasi syempre, mas malaki yung motivation mo. Kung kailangan mo mag-ipon, syempre yung gusto mo makita is over time, lumalaki yung iniipon mo, di ba? And not just because you're putting money in, but because the value of the thing that you are saving itself is getting larger.
Okay.
And that feels very rewarding. No? So syempre, if you started saving Bitcoin in 2014, medyo malaki yung advantage mo na yun. No? Because between 2014 and 2025, it's kind of a large,
How much was it?
The cheapest Bitcoin I ever bought was about 10,000 pesos.
Wow! Oh my God! Wait, what year was this?
This was late 2014.
When you first bought your first Bitcoin?
Yeah,
oh my
God! Mga ganon, yeah.
I hate you already, you know that, right? I really hate you.
No. So just to make you feel better, a lot of people from the early days of Bitcoin, bibili sila at whatever, 10,000 pesos, 50,000, whatever it is. And then as Bitcoin was getting higher, syempre, binibenta rin nila to take profit din sila, ganon. So hindi naman, I'm not saying that every Bitcoin that I bought from back then, nasa akin pa rin, no? Because, I need money. I also need to spend, Pero, I guess what is most interesting with my story is every time I wanted to spend from my savings, it felt bad. Because you believe na tataas pa rin yung price nun.
Right.
Which is, I think, yun yung tamang mindset eh. If you want to teach people na mag-ipon, save their money, save for the future, the best way to motivate them to do that is pag yung asset na save nila is lumalaki in value eh. So manghihinayang ka talaga eh.
Diba? Pero when you say that, you believe that in 2014?
I believe that it had a lot of potential. And I should mention also na in 2014, I was kind of a poor kid. I didn't have a lot of money back then. So what I could afford, half a Bitcoin, 1 Bitcoin, that sounds like a lot now, no?
Yeah, exactly. Back then.
Back then it was like 5,000 pesos, so it's not that much. So, to me, it was an okay bet Because it wasn't super large
Right.
naman di ba? So, yeah, sige, magtatabi lang ako. I think yung bagong term ngayon is binobodega natin, di ba?
Yes,
Yeah.
binobodega na nga. Oo.
So, nagtatabi lang ako here and there, not a lot. And then when I would see the price go up, I'd see, okay, medyo tama nga yung basa ko na it's going up. But
Okay.
then there would be also times, as you see the history of Bitcoin, na bumagsak yung price, no? Tapos madidepress ka na parang, wow, tama ba ako doon sa ginawa ko na yun? Kasi bumili ako nung $1,000 siya. Ngayon, $500 na lang.
Okay.
Or it was 50,000 pesos and now it's only 25,000 pesos. That hurts, right? So you have to go through all of this emotional, I don't know, turmoil.
Trauma.
Yeah.
So you've had the trauma na rin. Okay, kasi sa mga nakakakita ngayon ng move ng Bitcoin, I don't think they have that much trauma compared to what we went through, compared to what you went through. So I remember 2017. I wasn't in Bitcoin yet, but I do remember that massive crash from 17,000 all the way down to $3,000 per Bitcoin.
Yep.
That moment when it dropped, how did you feel? What did you think?
You always have to go back to why you got into this business in the first place. You have to go back to fundamentals. Kasi syempre masakit yun di ba? And you go through this over and over again as a crypto person. You always doubt yourself.
Yeah.
and sorry, just to give everyone the peso version of yung numbers mo. So
yes, sir. Please, sorry.
We touched 1 million pesos per Bitcoin in 2017.
Back in 2017.
Yes. That was the first time we did it. And for the average Filipino, the idea na yung 1 Bitcoin can buy you a Vios or an Innova, unbelievable yun di ba? And then after that moment, this was like December 2017 yun it kept dropping na after that, di ba? So from yung Vios mo, na iniisip mo na, ito na, bibilin ko na yung Vios ko, bumaba siya all the way to about 150,000 pesos. Na medyo hindi na Vios yun That's,
motor na lang yun
So parang, it hurts, right? It hurts. And you always have to think, okay, do I still believe in this? Just because the price has dropped by such a massive amount, and this is not small, this is like a 80% drop. Right?
Yep.
Do I still believe in what I'm doing? And the answer I always come back to is, the price of Bitcoin naman was never going to be stable. Because what we're trying to do right now, parang hindi pa natin na-discover kasi kung para saan ba siya talaga Ako naniniwala ako na it is for saving, it is for storing our value, our wealth, ganon. Yun yung purpose niya. But the rest of the world doesn't know that yet. They don't really have an opinion yet.
Yep.
So while this is happening, magalaw talaga yung price niya. Kailangan mo tanggapin na magalaw talaga yung price niya. So after a while, medyo nagiging numb ka na dun sa ups and downs, no? Siguro yung mga second or third time it happened, medyo hindi na ganun kasakit
Nung 2021. 2022, the crash.
Right. Oh, correct.
Hindi na masakit?
Hindi na siya ganun kasakit because I kind of expected something like that na parang every time we hit a very high price, parang gravity kasi yan It comes back down.
Were you able to predict the last cycle, the 2021?
I thought we were gonna stop going up at $50,000 the last time. So we kept going.
Yes.
Diba? From $50,000, we kept going up to 60,
67.
and so on and so forth. Yeah, I think 68, 69 yung max natin nun I thought we were gonna stop at 50. But that I didn't sell naman I was just thinking, nagulat na lang ako na it kept going. Same thing with now, no? I actually thought we were gonna stop at $100,000 or almost 6 million pesos.
Yes.
I thought that was it But we kept going. We kept going up to 108,000, di ba? And I'm, okay, sige, fine. Alam mo, sometimes I just give up trying to predict it. Because like, okay, sige, fine. I'll write an essay about why I believe na hanggang 100K lang yung Bitcoin this time. Pero wala, mali di ba? So it still went up. I mean, now we're kind of down again. But
okay. Well, so good. That's good. I wanted to ask you about that, yung right now where we're at, Okay. Because alam naman natin, may maiba sa ating mga kaibigan dito sa industry na to, sinasabi na nga na this could be the market top.
Interesting. Yeah.
Do you believe this is the market top or tingin mo we still have ways to go before the next correction, the massive correction or the crash or the bear cycle?
Got it. Sige. So before I answer that, let's do a little bit of history. Because the way that I always answer questions about price, always compare it to what happened before.
Okay.
Kasi the reason why we call this a cycle.
Yep.
No? So in crypto kasi we have this concept na it's a 4-year cycle. And right now we are in the 2024 to 2027 cycle. Before that, we were in the 2020 to 2023 cycle.
Right.
So 4 years at a time siya. So let's look back one cycle, right? So in the previous cycle, we hit $66,000 in the early part of the year.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep. And
then it dropped like crazy
Yep.
all the way down to $35,000. That's almost a 50% drawdown.
Yep.
Almost 50%. And then after that, it started going back up again. It hit an all-time high of $68,000
Yep.
A few months later. So what we can see from that example is meron tendency talaga na so naghahanap siya ng bagong high.
Uh-huh.
Right? Naghahanap siya ng bagong high price. It doesn't always get there in the first attempt. It tries, and then it falls back, and then the second time around, mas malakas na, it will find its true high of that cycle. So let's review what happened this year, so we can compare it. No? So as of December 2024, we hit $108,000. Yun na yung parang medyo first peak
Yes.
of this cycle. Now we're dropping down. We are at, I think, yung lowest natin last week was 78.
Yep.
Ganon, something
Today
like that.
we're at 83.
Okay,
Yeah.
actually, this is not so bad.
Yeah, di ba?
Not so bad, not so bad. If we follow history and we assume that something similar will happen again, baka bumaba pa nga yun eh. So yung 83 natin, yung 78 natin could go down a little bit more, maybe 65, I don't know, we'll see. But then we might also have a really good chance of going back up. And this next up might exceed 108,000.
Okay, so I'm gonna push back a bit on that.
Sure,
Ano? Kasi napansin ko nga that this cycle is different from the last cycle. And you
Yes.
know that.
Yeah,
The fact that we hit the previous all-time high
Yes.
before the halving.
Yes.
Oh, so that's a big factor for me.
Right.
Na parang I saw the cycle shorten. Where in the 2021, we hit the previous all-time high of 2017. In 2020, after the halving.
Yes.
Now we hit it earlier. So parang tingin ko, baka there might be some truth to the fact that ito na nga yung ating all-time high and it's probably downhill from here until the next 4 years, which is
Wow.
good Lord.
Yeah. I mean, so I'm not saying that your theory is incorrect. I actually think that there's definitely a lot of other influencers and analysts who believe na tama ka dun eh, di ba? And I guess I choose to believe na meron pang next attempt because I guess, how do I say this? There's so much of the market na hindi pa nag-grow.
Yes.
Bitcoin lang kasi naman talaga yung talagang pumalo eh.
Yeah.
So there's still many and you know for the people who are less familiar about this, Bitcoin is one of many cryptocurrencies. Many of them did not see an all-time high.
Yes.
Right? So parang it feels like meron pa,
Okay.
may energy pa that's left in the market.
Okay.
Now I will mention if you compare to 2021, no, so we went from $66,000 to $35,000
Yes.
to $69,000.
Right.
Yung dalawang peak na yon, magkalapit yun eh.
Yes.
I mean, it's only a $3,000 difference. It's not that large. So, is it possible that we will break 108,000? Yeah, I think so. But it'll probably not be a very large difference either. So, even if I am correct na meron pang ang pangalawa na peak, I'm not sure it makes a big difference to people who maybe decided that they were gonna sell at 108,000, right? Kasi if
Right.
you sold there, tapos the next peak was only 110 or 111.
Parang ganun din.
Okay lang, not a big difference.
Right,
diba?
right,
So,
right.
baka
Okay.
pwede na.
That's interesting. Ah?
So, I think that it's not really Bitcoin itself na inaabangan ko. It's all of the other coins.
So that's okay. Good that you mentioned all the other coins. Kasi right now, with all the other coins, I've noticed nga, and we were talking about this in the other vlogs that I did and podcasts, na back in 2021, there were only about 11,000 coins.
Yeah.
Today,
It's like millions.
12.5 million. Baka nga 13 million na yan by
Crazy.
today.
It's
So,
crazy.
I'm sure it's here. Okay. lumalabas din dyan. But it's 12.5 million last time I checked.
Crazy.
But again, majority of these millions are because of Solana.
Yes,
The
correct.
pump fund,
Yeah.
all of those meme coins.
Yes, correct.
So, but the market cap didn't really grow.
Yes, that's
So
true.
is it that's why for me, parang tingin ko that's what's causing this slump in the altcoin market.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a good read. I think that's probably, I think I agree with that. I think that nung nakita kasi ng mga crypto community, yung existing crypto community, nung nakita nila na medyo umiinit na yung Bitcoin, they already started making bets in other parts
Right.
of the ecosystem. Kasi alam nila na typically pag nag all-time high si Bitcoin, susunod yung ibang coins eh.
Yes.
Pero nagmamadali kasi itong mga these guys, no? I was about to say a bad word. Nagmamadali kasi sila eh. Ang ginawa, and everyone knows, during a bull market, the fastest growth is always with meme coins.
Yes.
However, sila din yung fastest drop.
Fast. And plus, right now, ito yung isang napansin ko. Bitcoin pumps, meme coins pump, say 10x.
Yeah.
May mga 100x.
Yeah.
But when Bitcoin drops a bit, the meme coin drops dramatically.
Yeah, yeah.
And it doesn't recover.
It can't recover.
Even
Yes.
altcoins.
Yeah.
Here's the thing I want to ask you. When you talk about altcoins, there are a lot of altcoins naman that have actual use cases. Layer 2s, layer 1s, governance tokens. There's a lot of ones that have actual value. Pero I notice, pati sila, they don't go back to the same price as they were when Bitcoin hit the same price. So every time Bitcoin hits like 83,000 today,
Yeah.
the other altcoins I'm looking at doesn't even recover.
Right. You're right. You're right.
What do we do with that, and what's your take on it?
I think it's just going to take a little bit more time. I think we were correct with our original read. Na the reason why the rest of the ecosystem was not going up at the same pace was there was basically money for two things: Bitcoin and meme coins.
Right.
And all of the money was going into that. Ngayon, medyo I'm not saying na nawala na yung meme coins ha. But I think we can see from the charts that many of the meme coins are all either down or nawala na yung activity nila. Bumabagal na rin yung it used to be that every month we were doing 1 million new meme coins.
Yes.
Now that's going down na.
Okay, so it's ano na, okay.
It's slowing down.
Is it also because people are starting to realize na
I mean, it's dangerous, right?
yeah, dangerous and it's really useless. But
Yeah.
do you feel like there's some redeeming factor with the Solana ecosystem, with the fact that you're now able to come up with all these meme coins and anyone can do it?
I mean, I think that all of these new technologies naman, may purpose naman yan eh. The problem I think with crypto is we get so excited pag may bagong technology. I think we saw this with NFTs.
Right, the NFT from the last cycle.
Yeah, we saw it with play to earn games, yung mga Axie
Axies,
Infinity,
right.
Na pag nakita natin na, uy, bago to we get so excited, we pour so much money into it. And then we kind of realize, actually, baka over, medyo exage pala ng konti yung expectations natin, no? So I think that's kind of what we're seeing with meme coins also, eh. Na parang medyo natauhan na yung mga nag-i-invest sa kanya, na parang, you know what, actually hindi pala ganun hindi siya ganun ka-reliable to make money out of. However, I think the technology of being able to, the reason why Pump.fun, the biggest meme coin exchange in the world, the reason why they're so powerful is because in one button, kaya mo na mag-launch ng bagong cryptocurrency. And that's powerful. So,
Okay.
I mean, I'm not going to say that the technology itself, I think, is going to be proven useful. But maybe we don't have to make 1 million meme coins a month. No, maybe
Right.
that's not necessary.
Is it just meme coins that can create, or can it create actual coins that have use?
Technically, you can make any type of token. Pero syempre, if you wanted to create a token that had a real business use or something like that, you have to build the business part of it too. Yung meme coins kasi, wala eh. Yun, lang talaga eh. That's just a funny name or a funny icon. And then if you do it correctly, you attach yourself to a name like Trump or Melania, di ba? Yun, ganun. You suddenly skyrocket. Ganun lang naman yung style dun eh. But if you wanted to make a token na may totoong business reason, may totoong commercial reason, that part takes a lot longer.
Yeah.
You can create a token, but the token itself needs a business behind it.
Right.
That part takes a while.
Okay.
That takes effort.
Okay, so before we talk about Trump, Melania, and the Trump effect,
Yes.
I want to ask you first, kasi I know that you got into the other things before during their heyday, the NFTs. You were very involved with NFTs. As a matter of fact, you made a fairly hefty sale during those NFT season. So you were able to ride it. May buhay pa ba NFT ngayon?
I think that the way that we were most excited about NFTs, at least the way I was most excited, was because it was finally a way for digital artists. So these are people who work with Photoshop,
Right.
people who work with their computers. It gave them the same level of respect and prestige as the artists who are working with oil on canvas or
okay.
acrylic or whatever. Yung mga sculptors, yung mga real world artists. No? I think that was really important because for a very long time, hindi pinapansin masyado yung digital artists. Eh. We were just like illustrators or people that you would hire to do some work for your website or something. Pero hindi siya, hindi kami parang, people don't think about us like we're actual artists.
I
Real
see.
artists.
Okay.
And then what happened with NFTs was it put a brand of approval on digital art in a way that allows us to be at the same level as kind of traditional artists. And I really like that. Now, I'm not saying that the work that I created back then was really worth the same as, say, a Manansala or an Amorsolo. I mean, of course not. I mean, these are national treasures. But I think it opened the doors for digital artists who really want to try to make more of themselves. Na hindi ka lang illustrator, hindi ka lang freelancer.
Right.
You're an actual artist. So there's a shot now. There's a chance.
Yes.
I think NFTs is most useful that way. But we'll see. I mean, I feel like, marami pang ibang uses yan na hindi pa natin discover.
Yeah, I think actually NFTs have a lot more use beyond art.
Yeah, sure.
For tokenization of real world assets.
Yeah.
So beyond that, there's so many other things. I mean, even the way I see digital identity attached to NFTs,
Sure.
that's a way to do it. So I don't think we've explored the full potential.
Correct.
Now, having said that, marami kasing, like, I have friends right now that bought NFTs like the Bored Apes.
Yeah.
Do you have Bored
Okay.
Apes?
I've never owned one. I've never owned one.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
but many of my friends do.
Right. Okay. And that's a badge of honor. Eh?
Oh.
Like, I noticed they really post their Bored Apes.
yeah.
Eh? So,
Yeah.
but do you think that their value is still where is it? I mean, their value has dropped quite a bit, but it's still fairly expensive. One Bored Ape, I think I checked may mga 5 million pesos for a Bored Ape and
Yeah,
even
I think
more.
that sounds about right. I mean, hindi naman nawala completely yung value nila. But I think what's interesting about the Bored Apes, yung ano pa ba yung iba, CryptoPunks, Azuki, or some of the other ones, what makes them valuable is actually the community that you become a part of. So in a way, so yung full name kasi ng Bored Apes is actually Bored Apes Yacht Club. It was always meant to be a club.
Yeah.
And the club part, actually, yun yung naging totoo eh. Kasi a lot of these guys, they will go together to conferences, they'll meet up, they'll try to do business together. I think if you go to SM Aura, there's a restaurant there that is using the Bored Apes brand, diba? So you can see that the Bored Apes are also individuals, they're also businessmen, they're also working together. So think about it that way, wala naman siya pinagkaiba dun sa mga parang Rotary Club. Diba?
Right.
It's like a business club in a way.
Right.
And that makes it valuable, right? So I think that if I were to join a club like that, I'd probably be able to find some uses for it. I mean, why not, diba?
Yeah.
It sounds like there are some people there who are very passionate, very committed.
Yes.
Sounds like fun.
Okay, all right. And now, what about with regards to the play to earn? Okay, so you still think that play to earn is something that could be valuable? I mean, or are the ones from the last cycle pretty much dead in the water right now?
So it's a complicated question, no? Kasi if you really compare just the prices of the cryptos, that's a hard story to tell, no? Kasi I guess yung pinaka well-known na play-to-earn game, Axie Infinity, yung all-time high price niya was nearly $150 per token, eh. It is now about $5 per token. It's kind of a large drop, no? Yeah, and sakit nun kung dun ka bumili at the $150 range. I think that what we have discovered is exage talaga yung price na yun.
Yung
the
150
was just too much.
Yeah.
It should not have been that high.
Right.
And that was an example of fear of missing out, greed, FOMO is the word
FOMO,
we use,
right.
no? So that's an example of maybe, people got too excited about that stuff.
Right.
That being said, Axie Infinity as a game, as an ecosystem, continues to grow.
Yeah, but you know, ano naman, for me, what I saw with Axie was this it's not a gamer's game.
Okay.
It wasn't really an exciting game to play. People were playing it because they needed money because it was the pandemic. So it was out of necessity that I saw people play it. And
correct.
good for Axie. I'm really happy and I'm so happy that maraming mga kababayan natin na kumita during time of the pandemic. But as a game itself, it was never a gamer's game.
I think that they're really trying to change that now. And I generally agree with you. Now, I like playing games a lot. I generally prefer games that are a little bit more action-packed.
Right.
Maybe a little bit more na pang adult rather than... Yung Axie Infinity, yung style niya kasi parang Pokemon. No? So it's a little... it feels like it's for kids. Although, to be fair, there are many popular games that look like they're for kids.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Sure,
yeah. So very recently, the Axie Infinity creators announced that they were now going to create an MMORPG based on the Axie Infinity universe.
Wow.
So it's like World of Warcraft, but with Axies, right? That's interesting to me. Again, I'm not sure I'm the target audience necessarily, pero I guess yung makukuha mo na lang from that is naniniwala pa rin sila dun sa copyright nila, dun sa brand nila, dun sa community nila.
Yeah.
And I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Find the game that your gamers actually want to play.
Right.
I think that's it.
And I think for me, what they're doing right, if any, is the Ronin network.
Sure.
Yeah. And then using that as a platform to be able to launch a lot of different games. And for me, I wish everyone the best, and I think they're trying their best to be able to do something. And, that's an Asian company.
Yeah.
So for me, go. Kulang tayo. And in the Philippines, parang, I see so many developers in the Philippines, pero parang I don't see, wala pa akong nakitang standout stars in terms of crypto projects.
Yeah.
Do you see any that I don't see?
Well, I mean, I was part of YGG, of course,
Yep.
which is
Guild.
Philippine run, Philippine run and Philippine founded na Web3 guild. One of the things that YGG was very well known for was we invested in all of these other games. We invested in these other teams or startups or founders who we thought had potential to make good games. So yung buong mission ng YGG was to find good games out there and help them grow. No? So that's one. The other one that I'm looking at right now is a company called Sovron. They were previously called Breeder DAO, if you've ever heard of Breeder DAO. So they changed their name.
Okay.
So that's also an entirely Philippine company. I'm looking into it. I confess na medyo limited pa yung alam ko sa kanya. But those are the ones that I'm looking at. I'm tracking them. No? To be honest, the Philippines kasi, we're more of on the consumer side, or the community side of the crypto world. We're not usually on the creator side or the developer side. For whatever reason, no? Yung Axie Infinity, that's based in Vietnam.
Yes.
So Vietnam has, even before crypto, has always been known for having a very strong population of developers.
That is so strange to me. Kasi, I mean, if you look at it, Philippines, we have a lot of good developers.
Yeah.
Really amazing ones. I don't know why. Is it lack of...
I have a theory, but I'm not sure it's popular.
Okay, go. What's your theory on this?
My theory kasi is that Filipinos are pretty good at English. So the problem is, if you're a good developer in the Philippines, you are basically exportable anywhere in the world. And that's usually what happens. They will leave because they can ship off to Canada, the US, anywhere in Europe, get a really high-paying job.
Or
as a developer
remote.
there.
Work remote.
Pwede rin,
There's a lot of people. So you're saying basically, parang instead of building my own blockchain project, I'd rather just work and get paid a lot. I mean, from what I hear with blockchain developers, you're talking $100,000 is not unbelievable, diba? So
that's it, right? So because Filipinos are so flexible in their working conditions, in their working arrangement, and even we're comfortable speaking in English. Ang dali natin talaga i-export. You've seen that even with our OFWs, diba?
Yes.
Na, madali tayong i-export or relocate to the countries that need that kind of work.
Right.
Ngayon, so this is the part of the theory that explains the Vietnam part. hindi kasi sila ganun kagaling sa English. And because of that, the word is insular. They kind of stay within their country
Right.
and allow them. So ang nangyayari is lumalaki yung brain power nila, and it's all local. It stays local.
Yes.
Right? Because if I was a junior Vietnamese developer back in 2000, 20 years later, now I'm a senior Vietnamese developer, and I'm still living in Vietnam.
Yeah.
So now I can train the next generation of junior developers, right? So it's this cycle that kind of keeps growing and growing. In the Philippines, ang nangyayari is, yung mga junior developers from back then, wala na sila lahat eh.
I
They've
see.
left.
Okay.
So who is there to mentor or train or guide the next generation? Wala na eh.
Right. Okay.
So that's kind of it. No? You'll see this a lot in other Southeast Asian countries. Kasi to be honest, yung economies natin hindi ganun kalalayo
Yes.
eh. We're kind of similar to Vietnam. Thailand is a little better than us. But you can kind of see yung developer communities nila. Mas maganda yung mix nila of senior and junior developers. And it's because they are not exporting their talent.
Yeah.
They stick around more.
Dito parang kulang tayo sa senior, no?
Yeah, I think so. There's a lot of people that are young that want to get trained or mentored or coached, but medyo kulang eh.
Yeah, that's true. Even me, like, sometimes I'm like thinking about the project and then I'm like, where do I find a senior developer that can do it? And pag junior, kulang pa, hindi pa hasayan eh. Pero, they've got the skills but not enough experience. Eh.
Right.
Okay. Now, speaking of altcoins, I wanted to actually just go back into this one. You want to name your top 5 altcoins?
Oh my God. Okay, wow.
Sige nga. Sige, top 3 na lang. Top 3 altcoins.
Okay.
Sige,
Okay, I'm gonna try to reach in deep for this one, because there are some easy answers. I could just say Ethereum, I could just say Solana. Right? Those are easy answers, and those are basically, by the way, guys. If I was going to just give advice to someone who is not as familiar with crypto, I would probably just say those: Ethereum, Solana, BNB. Why? Because they're kind of safe.
Right.
And I have a stronger a level of confidence that even if, the price doesn't improve so much, they're also not going to drop to zero.
Right.
Kasi matagal na yung mga yan eh. They've been around and they have real businesses and ecosystems that use them. So mataas yung confidence ko. Now, I'm not going to take the easy answer on this one because this show, I think maybe your viewers are a lot more advanced then. So I'll give you 3 that I like. And are probably, so ito yung mga high-risk bets. No?
I'll go.
Okay, the first one is SUI, S-U-I.
Oh, I like SUI.
All right. So a lot of people are thinking that this is going to be the next Solana.
Yeah.
Right? May ganun na vibe yung community nila eh. And a lot of the stuff that Solana did a year or so ago, yun yung playbook ng SUI ngayon. So, interesting, right? The second one is Sonic. Now, Sonic is very young. It's only been around for about 3 or 4 months, but it actually came from a previous blockchain called Phantom.
Okay.
Phantom changed its name. They rebranded. They also kind of revamped yung technology infrastructure nila.
So, sorry, just to cut you off, sorry. But you're saying ba Phantom tokens are now called Sonic?
Yeah. So they I believe you can take your old Phantom tokens and swap them 1:1 to get Sonic.
Right, okay.
Okay, so the reason why I like Sonic is because the founder, this guy, Andre Cronje, he was one of the leading minds that created decentralized exchanges back in the day.
Wow.
Back in the Ethereum days.
Right, okay.
So, medyo he's one of the founding fathers of what we now call decentralized finance.
Okay.
So, I'm a big believer in what he's doing. I like the Sonic ecosystem. I actually have quite a bit of money invested in the various protocols inside Sonic. So that's the second one. The third one is this one called Bera, B-E-R-A.
Okay.
Okay, so this one is a funny one. If you guys look this up, you'll see the website nila is full of bears.
Bears, I was going to say.
It's very visual, it's very illustrative. So Bera Chain looks like it is going to be I don't really know what to compare this one to. It feels a little bit like a Solana competitor also.
Okay.
Pero they spent so much time on yung mythology nila, yung lore.
Wow, okay.
I mean, if you can read through the history of why it's called Bera Chain, diba? Parang yung stable coin nila, which is still dollars naman, it's called Honey. Ganon.
Okay.
Right? So, most of their ecosystem feels like dinesign talaga siya.
Right.
Like, hindi siya bara-bara
Pinag-isipan.
lang. Oh, pinag-isipan. Pati yung mga pangalan eh. Pero
Okay.
talagang pinag-isipan nila eh. So, interesting siya. I think that there are a lot of Filipinos who are either working as ambassadors for Bera Chain. Here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or are trying to actively participate in the Bera Chain ecosystem. So I think those are the three ones. No? So Sui, Sonic, and Bera.
Wow.
And by the way, when I make recommendations like this, I'm usually making recommendations based on where I've put my own money.
Okay.
Actually, I'm always doing that.
Right.
Like, I would never recommend something where I haven't put my own money because, I mean, clearly, hindi mataas yung conviction mo if you don't actually do that.
So you put your money where your mouth is.
Yes. And if you were to do like a pie chart of where most of my high-risk money is, the biggest chunk is in Sonic right now.
Okay, but ano lang, as a disclaimer.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the viewers have to know when you say you have your money in high risk, what percentage of your total investment is in the high risk?
That's a really good question. So right now, it's somewhere between 30 and 40% of my entire portfolio is in the high-risk stuff.
In those ones you mentioned?
Yeah. It's spread out a
It's
little
spread
bit
out.
more
Also,
naman.
30 to 40% is total of all the
I mean, I have a
altcoins,
lot.
parang ganon.
I have a lot of bets. Eh.
Okay, I thought you meant...
yun lang?
Oh, no.
Hindi naman.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the 70% is in what?
Bitcoin, Ethereum.
Okay,
Yun,
sige.
so the boring stuff. The stuff that you expect.
Okay, good. Because I wanted to make sure people understand that the people that are watching this, kasi don't get excited too much and then put all your money in it, okay?
Yeah.
Always remember to put only a percentage. And I always say that, and I remind everyone, kaya the reason we can invest in these altcoins and these small projects is because the big bag is Bitcoin.
Yes, that's exactly right. And I always tell other folks nga na parang if you are tempted to get into an investment and you tell yourself, you hear yourself in your mind saying something like, alam mo, ito, sobrang taas ng confidence ko dito, mag-all in na ako. That's usually a bad sign. Anytime that you say all in, not a good sign.
Man.
This is not a poker game, guys.
I was going to say, and even in poker, you don't go all in until you see all the cards. That's scary.
And so you gotta always approach these things with a certain amount of humility.
Okay.
I think that's the most important thing. Na even if your conviction is high, your confidence is high because what? I mean, I don't know. I guess you did all the research, diba?
Right.
You could still be wrong.
Yeah, and not just that. For me, again, I look at Bitcoin as different from everything else.
Oh, yeah. I
So
agree.
that's why altcoins, I look at it like I look at stocks. And just see, which one? But then again, I'm always reminded by the dot-com bubble, where you had thousands of all these internet stocks that you thought was the one. I mean, I always refer to, naalala mo pa ba yung Netscape?
Sure, of course.
Right,
Of course.
diba? It was like $1 billion and boom, where is it now? The Yahoos, Alta Vistas, the andame. And then I'm seeing that same thing happen here. That's why for me, 99.9% of all the altcoins, I'm sorry, I'm going to be a little bit more harsh than you. I find it's garbage.
Yeah, and you know what? I think that history will prove you correct. Siguro the one part where I will try to be more optimistic, going back to your .com example, out of the ashes of all of those things that crashed and burned, you got Amazon and Google. You know, so meron namang mga nag-survive. And those companies that did survive, they ended up becoming basically the most important companies in the world. Right? So you're correct that 99.9% are probably going to be worth nothing, or worth very little. But that 0.1 is going to be the ones that will basically shape the next generation or the next wave. No? So, and I guess the reason why I am only willing to devote 30% of my position to finding those 0.1 percenters is because I don't want to lose all my money, right? Like, if you make the wrong bet, then what if I never find the 0.1?
Tama.
Diba? So you gotta be careful.
And that's why, for me naman, that's why I'm telling people nga na we can afford to risk. And I have a feeling, like for me, my experience is, I would say I lost a lot in a lot of different altcoins, especially from the last cycle that I'm still holding on to today at a loss.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it takes only kasi that one or two big ones
Yeah.
that make up for all the losses. Like,
Correct.
I've lost quite a bit in altcoins in the last bull run. Pero because of my Bitcoin holdings,
Yeah.
I'm still positive.
Yeah.
I'm still profitable.
Yeah.
Is that the same experience with you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, so what I've been doing, I'm pretty merciless with cutting loss though.
You
So hindi ko na
are.
pinaabot. Yung parang tipong, nung nag-minus 30 na siya, minus 40, then
Cut ka na.
I start cutting, no? So, I honestly, if I had more discipline, I'd probably have cut all of them pa nga eh.
Right.
Because then you would have more, whatever, USDC or
Yes.
USDT, and then you can start making new positions, no? But I think what will happen, I think it's very natural for people who see their holdings drop in value. Sometimes hahawakan mo na lang eh.
Yeah, kasi
parang,
wala na eh. Ito na.
Oo eh, di ba? It's parang, well, kung nag-negative 80% na siya, ano pa gagawin ko dun sa 20% na natira?
Oo,
Sige,
di ba?
I'll just hold it na lang as a reminder.
Yeah.
Or,
A badge of
or-
my trauma.
Or maybe there's like a random occurrence that will make the price go up
Yes.
again. I mean, there's always that possibility. The funniest example of this for me was Cardano. Kasi like, I bought Cardano at $1. This was 6 years ago.
Oh my God!
So, hinawakan ko siya for 6 years kasi
Man,
ang tagal before it kind of came back to
Yeah.
$1. It came back to $1 a month ago.
And then went back down.
yeah.
It went
So,
from
I nag-exit na ako nun.
So wait, 6 years ago, that was
2018, 2019, something like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
you bought it at $1?
Yeah, it was around $1 eh.
But it dropped to parang
All the way
10
down to-
cents ba yun?
15 cents, I think, was the worst eh. Yeah.
Oh my
So I just sat on it. Kasi like when I was looking at it drop, firstly, I should mention na hindi naman ganun kalaking pera yung pinasok ko kasi. So I was like, okay, I guess masakit, but it's not gonna change your life.
Yeah.
Right? And so I was sitting there thinking, okay, do I take the loss, which is minus 85%?
Right.
Pretty bad. Or do I just sit on it and forget that it's part of the portfolio for now? Which is what I did, no?
Yeah.
So 6 years later, bumalik siya to 1, liquidate ko.
Liquidated. Okay. So, okay.
Yeah. So now break even na kami. Although, gosh,
Okay,
that was
sige.
a long time to wait. Technically, lugi ka dun, ha?
Oh, yeah, of
a
course.
6-year hold, and then you just break even, lugi ka dun.
Of course.
Lugi ka dun.
Just even like the say 5% return every year. So
Luging
that's
lugi ka dun.
30% na
Yeah,
talaga
yeah,
parang ganun. Pero at the same time, ako kasi I like the idea of cut loss when you know that you can ride on a faster horse.
Yes.
And that's what I did when I got into Bitcoin is I came from a loss
Yeah.
on my stocks, Philippine stocks, mga 30% loss.
Okay.
And then I pushed everything to Bitcoin and
Well, I mean, that turns out to have been a really good move.
yeah,
So,
it is.
there you go.
So that medyo may pagkasugal ako pag ganun eh. Like when I think that that's good, I'm an all-in type of guy. Eh. So that was the difference.
I mean, certainly with Bitcoin kasi there is this, mas mataas talaga yung confidence level natin.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, although if you take the average person, so, yesterday I was just speaking to someone who was still working in the stock market, the Philippine stock market, huh? And he had never really touched Bitcoin. And no matter what angle I took, parang he just didn't want to think about it. It was too much to learn. Maybe he was already doing very well for himself in the Philippine stock market. Although, to be honest, I'm not sure how.
Exactly. And honestly, if you look at the
paano
Philippine
kaya yun?
stock market compared to Bitcoin, I mean, I can tell you all the advantages of Bitcoin compared to the stock market. Liquidity is one.
Yeah.
No, that's a big one, number one. Number two, just the fastest horse in any asset class. And the peso value compared to, peso value for me is always depreciating.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line. Kaya, and plus Philippine manipulation of stocks here and insider trading is massive.
Yeah.
But I mean, manipulation does happen also in crypto.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you that manipulation. So let's talk about that now.
Okay.
The
Sige.
biggest KOL, for the ones that don't know what KOL is, the biggest crypto influencer we have right now in the world is Donald Trump.
Yep.
Okay. I'm not
For
gonna
better or
ask
for
you.
worse.
I know. I'm not gonna ask you what you think of Donald Trump. Let's just talk about his crypto moves
Yes.
lately.
Yep.
What was it? What were your thoughts? What are your thoughts about Donald Trump prior to becoming president and where we are today?
Okay, so Donald Trump has had a really complicated position on crypto. Kasi like, if you go back several years, actually anti-crypto
Oh, yeah.
pa nga siya. Anti-Bitcoin pa nga yan
Oh, yeah.
And then, I think, nung nangangampanya siya last year, I guess, I don't know how he just discovered this randomly. It turns out, medyo malaki-laki pala yung crypto using population ng states eh. It's like 50 million people, which is a big voter block.
I didn't know it was 50 million.
That was the estimate they were throwing around.
Really?
So like if you can say one thing that will give you 10% of the voting block.
Yeah.
I think you would just basically say anything.
Say anything. So
right,
he was
diba?
pandering, you thought?
I thought it was pandering. I
Yeah.
thought it was pandering. But he said exactly the right things that crowd needed to hear.
Yes.
Diba? So para okay, magiging pro-crypto na daw yung US, diba?
Yeah. Crypto capital of the world.
No, we want to make, exactly, that's it. Make the US the crypto capital of the world. Which was very important to that 50 million
Yes.
Base.
Okay.
No? Okay, so now, now we come to the inauguration, January 20, yung presidential inauguration. Nanalo na kasi siya at this point, right? That exact weekend, we see a meme coin out of nowhere called Trump. It launches on the Solana network.
Yep.
I forget the exact numbers, but I think it went all the way up to like $8 billion in market cap. Is that right? I forget
so
now.
yeah, I remember because it was based on what was actually circulating.
Yes.
So I didn't compute it based on circulating. I was looking at it from the total.
Yung total?
Yeah,
Full-
but you're right.
ano.
It was about there. If I remember correctly, in terms of price, umabot siya ng mga $82.
There you go. Yeah.
Per Trump coin.
Right. So
did
actually,
you buy?
I did buy.
At how
because
much?
I bought at $24. I rode it all the way up to 70. That's when I started selling like crazy. Because I didn't really believe it was gonna
Keep
go.
going.
Well, I mean, I was wrong. It actually kept going until 80. Pero from 70, nagbebenta na ako.
But you didn't buy back at
I didn't buy back. I didn't buy
okay.
back,
So you had the discipline.
Mostly actually, personal note. The reason why I didn't buy back was my fiance and I we were in a bridal fair at the time. So I couldn't concentrate on trading because we were talking to suppliers, we were talking to like restaurants and whatever. So and then she kept like pulling me to parang stop looking at your phone. We need to talk to So like actually in a way she might have saved me from buying back in.
I was gonna say because I did the same. I bought at 27.
Yeah.
Sold at 72.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I said, mukhang aakit ba to? So I ended up buying a little bit. But I took back na what I got and I made money na. But I decided to buy back in and then...
Yeah.
And then I had to cut loss at 40. And then thank God I even got... So nabawasan lang yung profit. But still profitable, but still.
Oh, that's good. So what is it now? $15? $14?
No, it's at it dropped to 12 or 10. 10. Yeah, it was ridiculous. I feel bad that I even asked some of my friends. No, I didn't ask. They asked me what I was doing. And then I said, I'm buying this. And then they joined me. And then they didn't get out.
Ouch.
Yon.
Yeah.
So, okay. So he did the Trump coin and then the Melania coin.
Yeah. So actually that was the worst part. No. So 24 hours after the Trump coin launched, then the Melania coin launched. And actually, if you see the way that the prices moved, no, parang Melania goes up like this, Trump goes down like this. Because you could see literally the money, the capital flowing from one to the other.
Yeah.
And that was just horrible. Of course, Melania now is super low, right?
Yeah, it's really, they really just pumped and dumped it. That is the term. And I've been hearing this term now that I'm using. It's called Trump and dump.
Oh my God.
Trump and dump. Because that wasn't the last.
Yeah.
Then he goes on to the next move.
Yeah. So, there's a couple of little details that are super interesting about this whole thing, to be honest. Because when he actually gets interviewed about the Trump meme coin, he kind of says na actually, alam mo, wala masyadong alam dyan eh.
Yes.
Pero, mukhang okay naman siya. Ganun. It was like very kind of, did anyone even tell him? I assume so naman.
Okay, I think naman kasi that Eric knows a lot about crypto.
So you're talking about Eric Trump.
Yeah,
yes.
you've heard him speak. And I'm like, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And I think in-explain niya sa dad niya to, Dad, trust me, this is gonna be big.
Right.
Okay, and then Trump just goes, okay, son, I trust you, let's go with it.
Marami siyang inaasikaso that weekend. He was about to be inaugurated.
Yes, and he has to sign all these executive orders. So parang for him like, sige, sama na natin to kasi it's giving me a new support base. Okay, but so I'm just gonna go through the timeline.
Go for it.
In the middle of all of this, before this next BS that happened, that recently happened, was the Libra coin of Argentina naman. Ayan, si Milei.
Yeah, oh my God, that was another story, right? So, si Milei is actually, he feels to me like a hero president.
Yep.
Like the way that he is being idolized online, it feels like his Argentina's great hope. So for his Twitter account to say, hey, we've got a meme coin. Or
Yeah.
actually, sorry, they did not say meme coin.
Yeah, he didn't. He
They
said
said
it was
utility token, something like that.
something about, supporting Argentina.
Correct.
If you want Argentina to do well, blah, 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 buy this coin.
Right.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yung style of launch was very much like a meme coin. Yung
Yeah.
tipong nandun lang yung contract
Yeah.
address sa Solana. And then yun, I mean, instantly, no? Massive spike and then almost instant drop. No? So it's basically like a very embarrassing rug pull for the president of Argentina. He immediately, hindi naman immediately, a couple of hours later, he withdrew the tweet.
Yes, he did.
deleted
He
it
did.
or something. And then yun, parang from that point on, we started to see all sorts of scary things coming out of the Solana ecosystem. And
Yeah.
it turns out there was a lot of insider trading.
Yeah.
People knew beforehand what the meme coin was right before it launched. So bibili sila right before everyone else buys. And then they dump on
Yes.
the people, the retail customers. So it was
What?
it was sad.
Yeah, what
Sad
you
to
said
see.
about what happened with Argentina, the Libra coin,
Yeah.
and with Milei, sounds very similar to Trump.
Yeah.
The great hope,
Yeah.
the idolized hero of the free world, may mga ganon. And then they both launched their own meme coins. Okay, so, but in the same time, they're both ignorant of what they were doing.
It
I'm-
seems like it. Diba?
I don't think there was malice on their part, but their ignorance, they should have been smarter than that. Yun lang ang sa akin.
They had bad advisors, maybe?
Yes, or advisors with malicious intent.
Oh, sure, yeah. I think we saw that definitely with the Argentina one.
Yeah.
Like, yung lumabas na news later on kasi was, there was this inside group na sila din yung, gumawa ng Melania.
Yes.
Diba? So the people who made the Libra meme coin were also involved in Melania back a couple of months before that. So I was like, okay, so ano ba to? It's just an entire mafia of meme coin launchers.
And
What's
right now,
going
for
on?
me, that's really putting a bad taste in my mouth. So I was still okay. And then, okay, the big one.
What
when
happened? Right after.
When Trump talked about, posted on Truth Social about the Crypto Strategic Reserve Fund. Oh, yan.
Where so he names 3 particular cryptos na pwedeng masama dun sa fund
Yes.
na yun. And it was really funny because it was XRP,
Solana,
and then what's the
Cardano.
third one? Cardano, yeah, that's it, right?
And then,
And then an hour after that, I guess because someone begs him na parang, hey, you forgot the most important.
But why do you think they did that?
Well, because firstly, so a couple of theories, no. So see Eric Trump, he has this company called World Liberty Financial, right? And yung company na to, it's trying to become a crypto business. They're trying to become a crypto exchange. They're trying to be very, very transparent about what cryptocurrencies they want to support and what they believe in. So yung wallets nila, yung treasury nila, quote unquote, you can see it online.
Yep.
Right? And you could see that they didn't hold XRP, Solana, or Cardano. They held Bitcoin
And
and
Ethereum.
Ethereum. So it was so weird that his dad tweets this thing about his strategic reserve, and he doesn't mention the 2 main coins that his son's company is holding.
So that's why it left a bad taste in my mouth. Because for
Yeah.
me, it was pure insider trading. It was so obvious market manipulation, and I'm really pissed about it.
Yeah.
Kaya I wanted to ask you, like, do you think Trump pa ba has any credibility with the crypto community right now, or are you hopeful with Trump? What do you think?
I think that the executive orders that he signed, if we take them at face value, they have a real potential to do something great for the crypto industry. I think that by the way, so it's now called the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve. So yung Bitcoin, the name is right in the thing now. So I'm a little bit more hopeful. I think that Trump as a leader probably doesn't know enough about this stuff for him to be making those decisions. So I'm actually much happier kung, maybe wag mo na i-micromanage yan.
Yes.
Diba? Bigay mo na lang doon sa mga nakakaalam. In this case, David Sachs is the guy who's kind of running that whole crypto part of the government right now. I think we're in better hands with, at least he knows this stuff a little bit more closely. I think he's being advised by, people from Coinbase, from other parts of the crypto. It depends, no? Hopefully they get their heads around the fact that the move should really be Bitcoin first.
Right.
And we can follow yung original natin na Bitcoin and everything else which is kind of what they're
Right.
doing, right? It's Bitcoin and everything else. So it's two separate stockpiles that they will be building.
For me, kasi it's not Bitcoin first. For me, it's Bitcoin only.
Well, I mean, I would love that. I think that's preferable. I don't think that's what he signed. So yun yung
Yeah.
ano ko I guess. But yeah, you're correct. I mean, I agree. I would like it to be Bitcoin only.
Yeah, I'm excited about Senator Loomis. Kasi yung gagawin niya legislation, I think is going to have a lot more teeth
Yeah.
and a lot more permanency to it.
Right.
And that is going to be where we're going to see the real change. And I think it's going to take a little bit longer.
Oh yeah.
So
That has to go through Congress.
yes, it does. Yeah, and but there's 6 authors.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has a lot of authors, so I'm excited about that. Now, okay, so let's bring this back now to where do we think we're at? Do you think right now? So are we at the end or no? What's your verdict?
I still think no. I think we have a market recovery in the next couple of months. But I think I'll probably hedge my bets a little bit here. No? So the way that you keep yourself safe, kasi, just in case the market continues to go down pala, maybe I read it wrong and maybe there is no recovery. Maybe it just keeps sliding downwards slowly. The way you keep yourself safe is you keep shifting more and more of your holdings into USDC, USDT, find a way to stake that so you can earn from
Yes.
them. And there's many places that you can just deposit your USDC very safely and it will earn a few percentage points over a year. Honestly, that's still better than keeping it as peso, diba?
Yeah.
So you might as well just do that. And then just wait for a really nice price for something that you believe in. Diba?
Right.
Parang ganun eh. You can play it that way.
Okay.
And you'll probably be okay. Ako naman, because I am a little bit more, like I do nothing but read about this stuff all day long.
Yeah.
So I see these smaller opportunities where I'm willing to take a bet. And a bet is just a bet. You don't know for sure naman eh.
Yeah.
So, are you going to spend $100,000 on this bet? Probably not. Maybe $1,000 is probably more reasonable. I mean, again, it should be proportionate to your level of confidence.
Yes.
Right? So if you're very, very confident, fine. Still don't go all in, but sige, go big. Diba? Pero in my case, yeah, I'm humble enough to know that I can't get it right all the time. In fact, you'd be lucky if you could get it right 51% of the time. Actually,
Yeah.
yun lang naman yung kailangan mo eh.
Yeah, yeah.
As long as you're right a little bit more.
Then you're wrong,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right.
Enough na yun eh. And that's kind of the way I look at it. I mean, I'm in this industry for the long haul naman eh. I don't need to earn everything that I can for the rest of my life just in this one cycle. I'm still going to be here 5 cycles from now.
Yeah.
So it's okay, right? I want to support the stuff that I believe in, but I want to do it in a way that is also safe for my financial position, my family's financial position, all of that stuff. So you gotta kind of weigh all those things. Eh. It's not the most exciting answer because, syempre, like people wanna, what's your most gung ho response? Eh?
And okay, so in the Philippines, one of the biggest problems we have right now when it comes to crypto is scams.
Yeah.
I want to know what your take is, and have you ever been scammed?
I have seen a lot of scams. I have reported a lot of scams.
You've never been scammed?
Sa
Wow.
crypto, no. Not in crypto. Pero like in Facebook Marketplace, I've been scammed.
Right.
Does that count? I mean,
yeah, sure. But
yeah.
kasi the crypto scams, the way they do it is from P2P. I've been scammed P2P. P2P is P2P person-to-person trading.
Yes.
I've been scammed there. Galing nung scam na yun.
Yeah.
And then from the yung mga what do you call it, where they create a skin, they mask it. That's what they call it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
you
yeah.
think you're typing in your credentials to a legit site, mga ganon.
Right.
Ang dami.
Yeah. So I've never been hit. I mean, I've seen them, but I'm very lucky na hindi naman ako I didn't actually lose any money from them. However, I've seen a lot of the bigger scams, like the more local ones, like MetaMax, I think is one of the most big ones recently. This was just like from June of last year. And MetaMax was a watch to earn platform. So
Wow.
the idea is you make a deposit, call it $100, right? Okay, so dun pa lang eh, right?
Yeah, yung pa lang I was gonna
Yeah.
say. Oh man.
You make a deposit of $100 and it will give you the ability to watch ads for a couple times a day, and then when you watch those ads, you'll make a couple dollars
Yeah.
back, right? So unti-unti, mababalik mo yung $100 mo, and over the course of 1 or 2 months, magiging $300.
Yeah.
So 3x your money. Sounds like a great deal.
Yep.
Obviously, it's not sustainable, right? Pero yung kwento kasi nila doon, syempre, kumikita kasi sila from the ads na pinapanood mo.
Yes,
and
exactly.
From that, dun nanggagaling yung pera mo. But in reality, you were being paid with the money of other customers.
But
It's a Ponzi scheme.
But did they ever get the money back? Kasi like the ones that I've heard yung mga ganyang schema where you deposit money,
Yeah.
as soon as you deposit, to actually withdraw is the problem.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be able to withdraw.
Yeah. So what the style that I've seen, actually, so ito na yung modern version of these crypto scams. They'll actually let you earn from it talaga. And then they'll pull the money when malaki na yung pinasok mo.
Yes.
So you think na parang, hey, well, it worked when I had $100 and I've already made $30, $40 back. I'm gonna try to borrow money from my dad and I'll ask him for $1,000 this time.
And
Diba?
then
And that's when you lose it.
Yeah.
Right? So that's we observed this happening it started in April last year. And then for the next couple of months, ang laki niya. Like we were seeing thousands of people using this MetaMax thing. And you could see their volumes on the Tron network. So interesting detail. It was just on the Tron network.
Wow.
So we were using the Tron blockchain scanner and we were kind of watching the transactions. And one of the main wallets of MetaMax, it was worth $1 million every couple of hours, and then they would withdraw it, and then it would be another $1 million from customer deposits, ganon. And then by June, the SEC issued an advisory, and then all the money disappeared.
Yun.
And that's
Okay.
it. Sad story.
Wow, I know. I don't want to end with a sad story. So I want to end with a good, note.
Okay.
So let's end with this. So for beginners, for people that want to get started in crypto, so stay away from scams. So and if you're going to, sige, how about this? Why don't you tell the viewers right now your best advice for people that want to get started in crypto? What would it be? Yan.
I think that we're lucky in 2025 that we have so many options for how to start in crypto now. Most of the time, if all you want to do is get your feet wet lang, get started. Wala ka pa masyadong alam, so you want to just start with a small amount of money, do it safely. I just go with Bitcoin. It's so simple, no? So I am fortunate enough to work for Gcash, and if you'll allow me, I'll just go through the. So the nice thing about Gcash is that nearly every Filipino has Gcash in their pockets, in their phone right now. No, there's a crypto trading app right there. It's called GCrypto. That's what I lead. So that means I don't know how many millions and millions of Filipinos use Gcash. All of you already have the ability to buy crypto if you want. You can start with 200 pesos. So the first myth that I will debunk right now is you don't need 5 or 6 million pesos to get started in Bitcoin, because I think we were talking about one Bitcoin being about 5 million pesos now. No, you can buy as little as 200 pesos.
Okay.
And you can do it from Gcash, and that's it. It could be as simple as that. And for many, many, many of our customers, that's all they ever really do. They just hold.
Right.
And honestly, if you bought right now, na medyo mababa yung price, if you wait for a year or two, you're probably going to be in really good shape. It does not have to be a lot of money. And I would really recommend that you start with an amount of money that, so people always say you should always trade with money you're willing to lose. I don't like saying that because it feels so. First thing, like, why would I believe that you'll lose your money if you bought Bitcoin? I mean, I don't believe that.
Yeah.
However, I will say trade with money that you can afford to freeze for a couple of years.
Yun, I was gonna say, yeah.
Because sometimes the price is not gonna move in your favor. Eh.
Yeah, or trade with money or invest money that you don't need for the next 5 years.
There you go.
Diba? Just, kung di mo kailangan, pwede mo itabi muna. Itatabi natin dito na lang.
Yeah.
All right.
Ibobodega mo siya as Bitcoin.
Right,
That was
as
the idea.
Bitcoin.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's your recommendation. Only Bitcoin, basically.
It's the simplest one that you can go for. Now, if you want to start talking about the rest of the crypto world, I mean, there's many, many other things, no? But I think that, if you don't start with Bitcoin, there's this tendency kasi na you're not coming at it from the correct mindset.
Yeah.
I hate using the Solana kids as an example of this, but many crypto people kasi from 2021, their very first crypto was Solana. Their very first wallet was Phantom Wallet.
Or Doge.
Or Doge. Doge. Oh my
Doge. Yan ang first nila. I mean, I met a lot of
Actually,
kids.
you're right.
It was
Yeah.
Doge.
Yeah.
It shocks me, but okay.
No, but see, think about the mindset that you have when your first crypto is something like Doge, which is yung nature ng Doge is wala naman siyang totoong utility.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
Yeah.
It's entertaining, and I guess either magpa-plus 100% yung pera mo or magma-minus 80 or 90% yung pera mo. Wala. Sugal lang siya. And I don't like that mentality. I don't think it's healthy.
Okay.
And that's kind of why I always say, start with Bitcoin first, because it will create this mindset of long-term holding.
Yeah.
Which you don't get kasi when you start with the other ones.
Yeah.
And I guess that's it. That's the reason.
And I like it. So, but what I picked up from what you said, and I wanted to just like reiterate that is for all the beginners out there, if you're new to crypto, please, if your mindset is buying Doge or mga ganon,
Mga meme coins.
mga meme coins, then you don't have the right mindset. That is such a good lesson to pick up. And for people that don't understand crypto, and pag first time mo lang papasok sa crypto, actually, I wanted to recommend Luis's book.
Thank you.
A beginner's guide to crypto by Luis. And literally, it's like a children's book. It's like with the illustrations.
Yeah.
But ang galing nung pagka-explain. So if you don't understand Bitcoin, this is the best way one of the best ways to get started in Bitcoin.
Thank you.
And it's a quick read.
Yeah,
It's very short.
It's very short. Yep.
Unlike the book I read when I first learned about Bitcoin, I mean, it's literally a thesis. It's like, wow, it was so thick and ang alalim nun
To be fair, those details are important also.
Yes.
If you want to get into it really deeply, I think always look for the heavier stuff.
Yes.
No? But I think the point of this naman, it just allows you to get started.
Yeah.
Right? It's not gonna teach you everything. It will just teach you the basics. Para lang, when you start looking at, it doesn't even have to be Gcash, whichever crypto trading app you want to use, when you start looking at that dashboard, at least may alam ka ng konti, di ba?
Yeah.
Parang you can tell the difference between, but ang daming iba-ibang USDC something,
Right,
USDT, or whatever. You'll kind of understand some of that.
Yes.
Because a lot of these questions, you hear the same questions from a lot of first-timers. So I collected those questions into this book. So parang frequently asked questions.
Yes, okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Sige, anyway, thanks so much, Luis. I love talking to you when we talk crypto talaga. Sometimes we can go on forever.
Oh, yeah.
But I know that we're going to be doing a part 2 hopefully one of these days. But thank you so much for your time. And guys, I hope you guys learned something from this crypto conversation. And as always, thank you for my guest, Luis Buenaventura, the OG. And good luck with crypto. Happy trading and happy profits. See you guys.